All right, let's journey back in time, way back. We're heading to a story that all goes down under a blazing hot sun in the Middle East. And get ready, because this story has it all: mysterious visitors, a promise that sounds absolutely impossible, and one of the bravest conversations you'll ever hear about. This isn't just some old story, you know? We're about to do a deep dive into what it really means to welcome someone, to have doubts, and to find the courage to stand up for what's right. Okay, let's get into it.
I want you to picture this. Try and feel it. It is the hottest part of the day. The air is so thick you can almost see it shimmering. It's dead quiet, except for maybe the buzz of a few insects. And there, sitting by his tent, is Abraham. He's an old man now, just trying to catch a little bit of shade from these huge, ancient trees. Everything feels slow, sleepy, and still. But that quiet, it's about to be shattered. And then, bam, he looks up, and just standing there are three men. It's like they appeared out of thin air, out of the heat waves themselves. We have no idea where they came from. They're just there. And what Abraham does next, well, it's basically a masterclass in how to treat a complete stranger. I mean, just look at this. In that crushing heat, and remember, Abraham is nearly 100 years old. He doesn't just shuffle over. The text says he ran to meet them. Can you imagine? He ran. He's not annoyed by the interruption, he's excited. Then he bows all the way down to the ground. This is a sign of huge respect, and he has no idea who these guys are. To him, they're not a bother, they're an honor. And get this, he's not just offering them a glass of water and some leftovers, oh no. He sprints over to his wife, Sarah, and is like, quick, we need your best bread, now. Then he runs to his herd, picks out the absolute best calf, and gets it prepared right away. He brings out butter and milk. I mean, this is a full-on 5-star banquet in the middle of nowhere for strangers. And he doesn't even sit down with them. He stands by and serves them while they eat. Now that is what you call radical hospitality. So after this incredible meal, one of the visitors asks a pretty simple question. Hey, where's your wife, Sarah? Abram tells him she's inside the tent, and then the visitor drops a bombshell. He says, I'll be back this time next year, and Sarah is going to have a son. Now, Sarah's inside the tent, just behind the flap, probably listening in on the conversation. And when she hears that, she laughs. To herself. But it's not a mean laugh. It's the kind of laugh you have when you've wanted something your entire life and given up all hope. It's a, yeah, right, are you serious? I'm 90 kind of laugh. It's full of a lifetime of disappointment. But maybe, just maybe, there's a tiny little spark of hope in there too. Okay, so here's a really cool piece of background on Sarah. Ancient tradition says she also had another name, Iska. And Iska means to see. The idea is that she had this gift of divine inspiration, almost like she could see things others couldn't. So it's like this, her logical brain is laughing and saying no way. But there might be another part of her soul, the part that can see, that senses that this absolutely crazy promise might actually be true. But here's the thing. The lead visitor, who we're starting to realize is way more than just a traveler, he knows she laughed, even though she did it silently, inside her own head. He turns to Abraham and asks this question that just hangs in the air. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Wow. It's not angry. It's a gentle challenge to all of us, really. It's the biggest question in the whole story. When things seem impossible, what do you trust more? Your own limits or something bigger? So after that mind-blowing promise, the men get up to go, and Abraham, being the amazing host he is, starts walking with them for a bit. And as they look out over the valley toward the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, the whole mood changes. The vibe gets really serious really fast. The Lord reveals the real, much darker reason for their visit. They're on their way to investigate the outcry against those cities, and, if it's true, to bring judgment. And God explains why he's sharing this secret with Abraham. He says, I chose you so that you would teach your family to follow me by doing two really important things, tzedakah and mishpat. Tzedakah is all about doing the right thing, righteousness. And mishpat is about justice, making sure the world is fair. And this right here is the key. Because God trusts Abraham to be a champion for fairness, Abraham feels like he has no choice. He has to speak up. He can't just stand by and watch this happen. The other two visitors head off towards the city, but Abraham, he stays right where he is, standing before the Lord. And in this moment, the humble guy who was just serving lunch under a tree transforms. He becomes a powerful advocate, standing up for people he doesn't even know. The same heart that showed so much kindness to 3 strangers now feels responsible for thousands. He's about to challenge God himself.
I mean, just listen to the guts this takes. He steps up and basically says, wait a minute, are you really going to destroy everyone? The good people along with the wicked? Far be it from you. Shouldn't the judge of the entire world do what is just? Do you see what he's doing? He's not just begging for mercy, he's appealing to God's own character, using the very idea of justice that God just said he trusted Abraham to uphold. It's brilliant.
What happens next is, no joke, one of the most incredible moments in the entire Bible. It's a negotiation, a human being standing face to face with God, bargaining, respectfully but firmly, for the lives of other people. So Abraham takes a deep breath and makes his opening offer. He says, okay, what if there are 50 righteous people in the city? 50. Would you spare the whole place for their sake? And the Lord says, if I find 50 righteous people, you got it. I'll spare the whole city. But Abram's not done. He's probably thinking, okay, that's a good start, but 50 might be pushing it. So he keeps going. He says, what if there's just 5 less? What about 45? And again, God agrees. And you start to see this incredible rhythm, a human plea for justice and a divine answer of mercy. And he just keeps going. You can almost feel him taking a deep breath and getting a little bolder each time. What if there are 40? God says, I will not do it for 40. Okay, what if there were 30? And God says, I will not do it if I find 30 there. It's incredible. Abraham is pushing, and God is showing this amazing patience, really listening to him. And he's so humble about it. He says things like, I know I am just dust and ashes, but I've been so bold to speak to you. What if there are only 20? He knows he's on thin ice, but his passion for justice just won't let him stop. And unbelievably, God agrees again. For the sake of 20, I won't destroy it. All right, this is it. His final, most daring plea. He says, please don't be angry. Let me speak just one last time. What if only 10 can be found there? And 10 is such a special number. In Jewish tradition, 10 is the number of people you need for a prayer community, a minyan. So he's asking, can just one tiny community of good people be enough to save everyone? And the final answer comes, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. And then it's over. The conversation just stops. He doesn't ask about 9 or 5 or even 1. He stops at 10. The negotiation is done. And what's left is this deep, heavy silence. The Lord leaves and Abraham turns around and just walks home, alone. Wow. Can you just imagine what was going through his head on that walk? He had done everything he possibly could. He had stood in the gap. He had been a voice for the voiceless with every ounce of courage he had. Now it was out of his hands. All he could do was trust. So what does this incredible story teach us about improving ourselves? It's all about this character trait, or midah, called courageous intercession. That's just a fancy way of saying having the guts to speak up for somebody else. It means your compassion isn't silent. So here's our midah challenge for the week. Your mission is to find one small way to be an Abraham. You don't have to argue for a whole city, but if you see a friend at school getting left out of a game, be the one to walk over and invite them to join. If you hear someone say something unfair, be the one who says, hey, I don't think that's right. And here's a great question to talk about as a family. What holds us back from speaking up when we know we should? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share. Which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments? We'll see you in the next chapter.